when you're able to space scenes out and you're able to give them air to breathe and stuff like that, I think like that's just the most important thing you could do in a movie is allow there to be air and enjoy. Not dramatic pauses, Tony. We're not talking about
Yo,
dramatic
that's what
pauses.
they're doing in the fucking movie. They're hitting you with the pauses, but in a movie effect, my nigga. That's what they're doing. Look at me. I just did a dramatic effect right there, and everybody felt that. Everybody.
That's where our viewership dropped down to 10% of people stopped watching at this point in the video.
Immediate.
All right. Let's go back to the Dune talk. Oh, this nigga's gonna take a deuce. Have y'all seen Dune, the movie?
I've seen it once. Bucho's seen it about 10 times.
I wish.
No, he hasn't. I was about to say that's sickening.
Like twice.
I've seen it, and I believe Doughboy's also seen it.
He has.
I don't know. Is this coming off a book? Is this
Yes.
like work? Okay, because I don't know. To me, it felt like this shit just got dropped out of nowhere. So, because obviously I'm not a book reader like you or Pucho are, but it's a fantastic fucking movie. I'm mad that there's a part 2, but I can understand. It's like the Titanic type shit, right? It's so fucking long. Like the first section of the movie is 2 fucking hours, which, by the way, it doesn't even feel like 2 hours. That's how good that shit is.
It's 2.5 hours.
It is one of the weirdest movies I've ever seen because it felt like they got to the end of it. By the way, spoilers are going to be all over this thing. Just
for sure.
Do we want to do like a quick spoiler-free impression, and then
sure.
just jump right in?
Sure.
Yeah. So for me, I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. It's gorgeous. Obviously, it's fucking gorgeous. Although some of the CGI with those weird little dragonfly things felt a little off sometimes, like when they were flying out to the spice mine.
I thought the dragonfly shit was a little corny, if you ask me.
But I've never watched a movie that it felt like so little had happened and so much at the same time. Like it got to like the end and I was like, holy shit, it feels like just like the first like 30 minutes of the fucking movie.
Yeah.
That movie it's weird. It put me in a time warp. It's like the movie felt like an hour and a half. That shit was 3 hours. But I think that's when you're able to space scenes out and you're able to give them air to breathe and stuff like that, I think like that's just the most important thing you could do in a movie is allow there to be air and enjoy. Not dramatic pauses, Tony. We're not talking about dramatic
that's
pauses.
what they're doing in the fucking movie. They're hitting you with the pauses, but in a movie effect, my nigga. That's what they're doing. Look at me. I just did a dramatic effect right there, and everybody felt that. Everybody.
That's where our viewership dropped down to 10% of people stopped watching at this point in the video.
Immediate. I fucking loved the movie. There was one scene of the movie that I thought was dumb. But besides that one moment, I love the entire movie. No,
we're doing a free spoiler. We're doing a free spoiler. Yeah.
I loved it. I love the books. I love the movie. I love the old movie. I never watched the old TV show. But yeah. And they're saying the second movie is already approved. The dude said he wants to make at least 3 movies, probably 4. Just fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm super into what this movie brought to the table. I was very fucking impressed. I literally only have one serious criticism, which I'll save for later. But I thought the movie was done masterfully. Like I liked all the characters. I liked all the arcs. I thought it was a little weird that they had. No, let me not.
All right.
Let me not. Yeah.
There you go. We all liked the movie.
Yeah.
We all thought. Me and Dory think they were a dumb thing.
IMAX. Wait. IMAX. You watch it in IMAX. Everything in that movie is so grand and so big and like it literally after watching it, I'm like, this is a movie that I could go watch in IMAX.
Dude, I sat down to watch this at my computer and I poured myself a drink and I was like getting in the zone and I was watched about 5 minutes of the movie and I was like, nope, I need to watch this on the
Downstairs.
TV downstairs. I need to move. This movie is too pretty to watch on my monitor.
I watched that shit I watched that shit in the living room. Emily was at work or whatever, but I had the subs maxed the fuck out. That shit was like fucking blowing out shit. Fantastic way to watch a fucking movie. That movie capitalized on all sound effects, all 360 shit. Only thing different is I wish I had like a fucking 8K VR headset with a fucking 3D surround sound shit. And I'm fucking just, and that shit would have made it even better, but phenomenal. Now we're doing spoilers. So if you want to skip.
Yo, he loves the word 8K. He said it like 3 times this entire episode.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He's obsessed with 8K. And that shit isn't even out yet.
What? It is out. People got 8K.
What is it on? I didn't know that.
Everybody in Lake Worth got an 8K.
It was a good day. Shots.
Yo. All right. So, first thing I hated, and it's actually still spoiler free. All right, my boy, I love me some good Denis Villeneuve, whatever. He's French or something like that.
Destroyed that name.
Villeneuve, I think that's his name.
Who did he play?
No, he's
the main guy.
He directed and wrote the screenplay. He's the same guy who made the Blade Runner 2049 sequel.
That's why that shit fucking reminds me of that movie. I was trying to think like this has the same flow or feeling.
Yeah, a lot of his movies have that. They're long movies, very cinematic. The audio is always cool, really cool settings, and he lets the scenes breathe.
Build.
Facts. Dude is standing there staring off in the distance. You're gonna get like 30 seconds of that. Another movie, you probably get like 2.
Some pauses, dramatic pauses, man.
But the audio, it's the Christopher Nolan thing. You can't hear people talking. Like that movie without subtitles, you're fucked. Unless you're like Tony and you have the ability to put that shit at maximum power.
I wanted to rewatch it before the pod just so I could watch it with subtitles because I watched the first time without because it was so pretty. I didn't even want the little subtitle thing down there, right? Especially because I got like the smart dimming on my TV, right? So the subtitles pop up, they throw everything off because it's trying to adjust to the white being down at the bottom of the screen. But yeah, I couldn't hear shit sometimes. Like some of the plot points went straight over my head.
It's like watching Tenet. Like
they're just whispering to each other.
No, yeah, that was my problem with the movie too. I'm glad you brought that up. Because
I watched it with subtitles.
I didn't, but what I did at some points, I was like, damn, I can't hear it. So I raised the volume even up more. So now I'm really blowing out the house. So at some point I was like, you know what, fuck it. I lowered the sub, put the treble up, and then now I had like an equal balance. But yeah, that movie was terrible with the voice. If you don't have a way to adjust the treble, try not to fucking, or just pay attention as best you can or use subtitles.
It's so shit too because those movies are made to be watched in a movie theater. And if you see that movie in a movie theater, you're going to miss so much because you can't put subtitles on.
I've actually heard that the reason why the sound is all fucked up in a lot of modern movies is because they're made specifically for the movie theater where they can take advantage of, their 20 speaker system they have in the theater. So you can actually hear some of those whispered lines. Tenet, I think, broke that because Tenet, apparently no one could hear shit in that movie and it was intentional. Like,
so that's how bad
it adds to the confusion.
Which I've got a question for you as someone that actually read the books.
Yeah.
Okay, so spaceships exist in this world, obviously, right?
Yeah.
And they got artillery and they got laser beams that just cut through fucking anything. So why the fuck are they fighting with swords?
Well, yeah, that one scene was weird with the laser beam because Paul shouldn't have been scared, but the other people might have been. So the force field that they turn on, it'll block all projectiles, anything that's moving fast. So they like basically all long range weapons are ineffective. So the only thing that you could use against each other are swords or
Well, that's not
knives.
true.
That's why they fight like that.
That's why they have the little blow darts, because they move slow enough to get through the shield.
Even that little blow dart he shot is like a smart dart or something. Like it got into the force field, but it was moving slowly through, so it could get through it. It was like some type of
I don't think that's true
homing
though.
device. I'm sorry, what?
I don't think that's true because the spaceships also had that protective shield, and that fucking rocket that came down and smacked them, it fucking destroyed it right through the shield. I don't know if you peeped that when they started fucking shit started going to hell.
Shields
there was
are
a shield.
infinite.
No, but based off what Pucho's saying that it stops projectile, that shit's coming fast as fuck. It's a fucking missile, and
I
it
think
just blew right through.
I think they had that same slow shit though, because I think the projectile hit the shield and then it like drilled through almost. Like it was like
I
doing
gotta
like
go
a
back and watch it
slow
then.
fall.
All right, I could be wrong.
And it's also not gonna stop like heat or fire or things like that. Like it's more like a bullet's not gonna kill you, but an explosion might still. You know what I mean? It's a different
like
thing.
the impact, I guess.
How
and
well
also they even made a comment that the shields weren't up. Like someone turned the shields down on the base, so those shields weren't even activated when all those projectiles were hitting. That the doctor turned all that shit off.
That piece
how
of
wild
shit.
we get so advanced in the future that the guns are no longer effective. We have to start fighting with pointy sticks basically again.
That shit was fire though, honestly. That shit took me back to like that episode of Rick and Morty when they had those suits that just makes them invincible. Like I was like, wow, that's fucking fire. But nah, also in that movie Dune, mind you, that chick that also fucking plays Spider-Man, I forget her name, fucking
Zendaya.
beautiful chick, beautiful, amazing actor. Like
Donald Trump.
How's that Donald Trump?
This is how Donald Trump talks. Before you start talking about a person, you got to talk about their character.
Whatever.
Physical characteristics.
Trumpet, fuck it.
Beautiful eyes, very intelligent. And then
I think it's funny how his flashbacks or his this memory loop that he has, that he's drawn automatically to her. So it makes me believe that in part, and never read the books, that in part 2, like she's probably like the queen or the princess of this fucking group. And mind you, I could be wrong. You're making faces right now, so I'm kind of maybe somewhere in the loop. But off rip, this nigga's like a hybrid. This man is like to me, he's like a human, and his mother and them got this. I gotta watch it again. It really, because like I said in the beginning, the sounds were just off. But from what I got, his mother and this clan of females only, I guess, breed females to have this power, but she chose to have a boy, which was weird because even his father was like, "You gave me a son," so it made it seem like she made a sacrifice to give him a son against what her cult is, that they only do females to get this power. So this nigga might be. It's weird too, because the nigga even like I'm mad sporadic right now, but this nigga touches the rock and sees his death. So it's like goddamn, is this motherfucker like a fortune teller master fucking some like this shit blew my fucking. This is why the movie is fantastic, because it just this movie's fantastic. But
I mean, to be fair, if you touch the rock wrong, he will kill you. I've seen a lot of his movies.
This guy's a dick.
The Rock is buff as fuck. Okay.
But so it just blew my mind, because it's like, fuck, this guy's got superpower abilities, and even one of those clan members, I forgot that dude's name too in the movie, but he said, "I've met you before." I was like, what the fuck does he mean he met this kid before? Like, because when the kid was being honest and like in the meeting when he met up with his dad and the generals or whatever, he said what he said, right? I don't want to spoil as much, but we're fucking spoiling it. But he said what he said, and he was like,
spoilers.
He was like, he like glanced at him like I know this fucking, I know this entity, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But
he's prophesized is what I got out of it. I haven't read the books, so I'm just going. But yeah, I think he's been prophesized. He's
a prophet, something
with an L, the Lisam Gyab or some shit like that.
He's the Lisan Al Gaib. But they also tell you the what's her name, the Mother Reverend is what they call her or some shit like that.
His mother.
Well, not his mother, the lady that came and gave him the test. Yeah. Right. She says, "We've already started laying the groundwork for you." And when they arrive, all those people were saying, "Oh, Lisana Gaib," and then the mom turns to him and she's like, "Oh yeah, that's the Benny Gesserit at work." Basically saying they ran a whole propaganda campaign to make the people like the kid already. Like they're convincing they're convincing them that the kid is important.
Oh shit!
So when the
Mhm.
guy tells him, "I already know who you are, I've already met you," is like he already knows of the kid because he's already heard the stories of the kid.
This is where my biggest criticism of the movie comes in. I didn't read up. I read up on this afterward, and I found out that it's been a problem, dude.
No, oh fuck out
Are you
of
gonna
here!
are you
You're
gonna do the
wrong.
are you gonna do the
It's
white
so
savior
wrong.
thing? Because it's so
Yeah,
old.
it's so
It's
old
so
and it's
old
so
that I don't.
No,
wrong.
bro, I didn't even know about it, and I'm like, how come these niggas look Muslim and they're treating this religion? It's very the Messiah coming to save everyone. That shit is very.
I-
I'm not gonna lie. I saw it and that was the only thing that bothered about
People who
me.
do that are dicks.
I think it's a valid criticism if the work itself wasn't 50 years old. The Dune novel came out in the 70s, right?
The
Like,
50s, I think.
Is it the
It's
yeah?
old as
It's
shit.
it's hard to hold old things. Like they can't change the story to. I don't know. I think they kind of addressed it in a little bit too.
Bitch.
Yeah, I don't
Because
think.
because they had Oscar Isaac play his dad, right? Oscar Isaac is obviously a brown man, so I think it takes a little bit of the white savior impact
But
away.
there's no Muslims playing the Muslim sounding people.
You don't have to have a Muslim. It's that's his whole point. He's
they
saying
wear the Muslim garb. They sound like they're speaking
how
Muslim.
they're wearing Muslim garbs. They're wearing
prophesying a Messiah like Muhammad. It just sounds like the Muslim culture,
Yeah,
if you ask me.
I
Sure,
think
it's just
there's influence. There's influences for sure, but I mean, it's like Queen Amidala from the Star Wars prequels. Was she co-opting cultures with her interpretation?
It didn't feel like
what,
they did it.
or was it because it's just a weird space culture, and maybe we stopped trying to project some of our stuff on it?
That didn't feel like these people look like Muslims.
He's saying that because it's in the fucking desert, my G. That's exactly.
Yes,
I knew this nigga. I
absolutely.
knew this nigga. That if it was in fucking space, this wouldn't even be a topic because it's in the fucking desert. That's why he's
also the people in the worst position are the Muslim. It's weird. It's like the people who need a savior. It's just weird for me. I noticed that immediately.
Don't take that shit.
And it was my only one criticism about the movie.
That's
other
whack.
than that, the movie is fantastic.
I don't think it's a bad criticism necessarily, but I think that you have to take out a lot of that shit when you're evaluating something this old, and also when you're evaluating crazy sci-fi stuff, because there's so much culture blending and cultural appropriation in sci-fi in general.
It's sci-fi,
and it's because they're trying to predict the future, where it's this melting pot of cultures and things all kind of clashing together. It's hard to not have some cultural appropriation and shit like that in there.
So some context, right? In the book Dune, there are no races. They don't even mention anybody's race. They only say Paul is olive skinned. They say what's her name? I forget the girl that he prophesizes. It's like a CH. She's light olive, and someone else is olive skinned. There's like the whole book series is like 3 characters that got skin color. Ain't nobody white in the books. Like, is it like that episode of South Park where the human race has been around for so long, everybody's just fucking brown. Like everybody's just a mixed race. And then, like Mateo said, was the human race is so old that that culture is actually a combination of like Muslim words and Buddhist words. And yeah, the story is not a white savior story whatsoever at all. It's actually the complete. It's the
savior story. I'm saying that the lowest people, the Fremen that are they are Muslim looking, Muslim sounding, and it's kind of based off of their religion. If you ask me, there's like a religious aspect. And I think that that's very prevalent. I didn't even know about this shit until I read about it. And I'm like, hey, that's something that I noticed off the cuff that I'm like, oh, these people sound Muslim, and it's kind of like the Israelite story, kind of in a way, like
how do you say that you didn't
the
notice
No,
it, but then you read it?
chosen people.
no,
This is
no
a this
chosen
is
people.
something that I noticed from watching the movie, and then I saw that it was an actual criticism of the movie.
Yeah, there's a couple idiots that wrote just completely inaccurate articles. Absolutely.
No,
Like if
I
you,
see that I've looked it up.
I know, I'm telling you, it's completely inaccurate. Like I could spoil the books for you. It is so not this. Like it's not white savior whatsoever at all. I can tell you that much.
You
The
think
whole,
they could? You think they could have gotten more Muslim people for those roles and actually
more
incorporated that a
Muslim.
little
Nobody
bit?
was Muslim in the book.
I'm
But they
because there's
could put
no.
Muslim people in the. They could
Movie.
put Muslim people in the role. That's fine. I don't got no problem with that. I'm just
They
saying.
they still have room to correct that too, because I mean, there was not a lot of Freeman action in this first
I like
section.
I liked them so much. I thought they were the coolest people in the movie. I was like, are these niggas I could get jiggy with coming out the ground and fucking people up? I was like, I could get jiggy with this shit. These people are badass.
Which I've got
Yeah,
an
I don't even see them as needing to be saved. I don't know why you even view it that way.
What do
These
you
other
mean?
people can't
They're
survive in the
coming.
desert without their technology.
Exactly.
Like,
And yeah,
like these people,
They
the
have
Harkonnen
no
instinct-
choice. They
the Harkonnen
whether
instinct
people
is only
come and harvest, they can't even control the people coming into their planet.
sure, people are exploiting their land, but that's different than they don't
I
need
think that's
saving from anybody.
powerless. I think that's not
did
having
you missed the
power.
whole point of
I'm just
where they
if people
came?
didn't go to the planet, they'd be living the same.
Why
They'd
don't
be
they
living in their
have
holes.
billions of dollars and control? You know what I mean? Like why
Doughboy,
isn't it?
you literally missed. There's two key points that the guy repeated twice, maybe even more. They wanted their power.
Desert
They have
power.
they
Desert
have
power.
they can only, they're the only people that can survive and thrive in this fucking planet. These people here are using their technology just to survive and
They're not the
harvest.
they're not the superheroes of the Harkonnen are and the Emperor is.
I
These
mean,
people are like
you-
super powerful. They got money. They're like the entities that are
I'm not-
moving against them.
I'm not super familiar with the books or like the lore or anything, but my assumption is that there's a handful of like major cities, right?
Yes.
But like 99% of this fucking planet is just desert wilderness where they're king, basically. Like
they have
that's their domain.
underground. They have underground
Because
cities
nobody else
what
can
it looks like.
survive. I love
the
those
Fremen.
suits.
The Fremen live completely underground, and the planet has like millions of them. The Harkonnens think there's only 50,000 of them on the whole planet. Like these motherfuckers are thriving.
That's
Damn,
the
you
Harkonnen.
hit me with a super spoiler right now. Fuck you, nigga.
No, they say that in the movie.
Section 2, no. Section 2 is going to show me millions of these niggas because I only thought it was a slight tribe. Now it's a fucking bazillion of these niggas.
No, they mention it in the movie. Like there's a bit where they talk about, but they're talking very quietly. So maybe that's
Yeah,
you missed
maybe you missed
because-
it.
I need
They
to read this
clearly-
book. This shit
they
makes me
said
want to
that
read
there's-
it.
They're saying there's thousands of their underground cities on the planet.
That's
And
so
and the guy
sick.
said that there's anywhere between their numbers sounded weird too, because there's like, oh, there's thousands. And then they're like, yeah, you know, there's like about it could house like 15,000 people. Oh, there must be millions. I'm like, actually, that math doesn't check out.
Doesn't add up.
Like the
1,000
way they did the
cities
math.
and
Or-
15,000 for each city. Like, it's still not. Yeah.
They did some shit like that, and I was like, nah. Like I was like, all right, I get where you're going with it. Anyways, yeah, though. Honestly, as a friend that doesn't want to spoil the story for you, I'm telling you, it's not a white savior. The movie itself,
I don't think it's a white savior. That is not what because you keep saying it, and I understand that's the narrative.
sorry,
that
what's your criticism then?
certain people
That it's like,
just
it
that
sounds
it's
like Muslims.
they
Hold
are
on.
very obviously Muslim people,
They're
and
not.
it's like
bro.
and it kind of goes off of the tropes of the Muslim religion that there's going to be a Messiah that comes to save everyone, which is Muhammad. And it just seems like they're playing off those tropes. If you ask me, went off of first, like just watching it the first time, that is what I got off of it.
there's parallels, I think, in like their speech and things like that, but you know, to Pucho's
That's
point, like
fine.
it's a blend of Buddhism and like there's a lot of blends happening, which is how the future most people predict it's going to be, is that races are going to get even muddier. Like there's not going to be a clear distinction.
Hold on, real quick.
The criticism of the movie, right, that you could put is people that are in a position of power are going to a planet to exploit a group of people that are in a lesser position of power. Like the Atreides family, the house is going over there to exploit them for their desert power. That is a criticism you could levy against the movie, right? Or the story. Sure. But I've read the articles about the whole white savior thing, which is why I've brought it up multiple times. What you're describing, if you go and look at those articles, they're complaining about the white savior. I read those articles. It's nonsense. It ain't accurate. Those people don't know shit about the story. And count the white people in the movie. Like, there's the bad guys that are white, and the good guys, it's like the mom and the boy, and Gurney Halleck, the replacement sword master. You got like 3 white characters in the movie.
Man,
It's like it's not this white savior story. Like, I don't know. It's just